I have watched people fall in love with a house in 60 seconds and make the worst financial decision of their entire life. And I have watched people walk into a property they were not sure about and end up in their forever home. The difference between those two outcomes comes down to one thing: knowing exactly what to look for before your emotions take over. Today I am going to give you that knowledge. Welcome back to From Zero to Keys on Marcus Lane Real Estate. I am Marcus Lane, and every single day I upload a brand new episode walking you step by step from the very beginning all the way to the moment those keys land in your hand. If you are not subscribed yet, hit that button right now, because this series is completely free and it is everything I wish someone had told me when I started in this industry 30 years ago. In episode 5 we talked about how much you can actually borrow and how to push that number higher. If you have not watched that yet, go back and watch it now, because your borrowing limit shapes everything about this episode. Today in episode 6 we are talking about finding the right property. Where to look, what to look for, what to completely ignore, and the red flags that most first-time buyers walk straight past, until it is far too late and they are standing in a solicitor's office wondering what went wrong. Let us get into it. Before you look at a single property, I want you to do one thing. Write down 2 lists. Your first list is your non-negotiables. The things that if a property does not have them, it is an immediate no. Number of bedrooms, specific area or school catchment, parking, garden, maximum commute time. These are your hard lines. You do not compromise on these. Ever, because the moment you start compromising on your non-negotiables, you are no longer buying a home, you are buying a problem. Your second list is your nice-to-haves. The things you would love but could live without. A second bathroom, a bigger kitchen, south-facing garden, off-street parking. These are negotiable. These are where you have flexibility. Write both lists before you view a single property. Pin them to your wall. Because the moment you walk into a beautifully staged home with fresh flowers and a scented candle burning in the kitchen, your emotions will try to hijack your brain. That list is your anchor back to reality. Now, where do you actually find properties in the UK? The 2 main portals are Rightmove and Zoopla. You already know this, but here is what most first-time buyers do not know about how to use them properly. Set up instant alerts. Not daily alerts. Instant alerts. The best properties in competitive areas go under offer within 24 to 48 hours of listing. Sometimes within hours. If you are checking Rightmove once a day, you are already too late. Set your search criteria, turn on instant notifications and treat every alert like it matters, because in a hot market it does. But here is the move that most first-time buyers never make. Call the estate agents directly. Every agent has a list of properties that are about to come to market but are not listed online yet. Vendors who want a quiet sale. Properties being prepared for listing. If you have called that agent, registered your details and told them exactly what you are looking for, you get a phone call before anyone else. Before Rightmove, before Zoopla, before the competition. That phone call has put more first-time buyers into the dream home than any online search ever has. Now let us talk about viewings. Because most people treat a viewing like a tour. They walk around, nod politely, say things like "oh, this is lovely," and leave without asking a single important question. That is not a viewing. That is sightseeing. Here is what you need to do at every single viewing. Look up, not just around. Check the ceilings for damp patches, brown stains, cracks running along the corners. These are not cosmetic issues. These are structural and water damage warnings that can cost you tens of thousands of pounds after you move in. Check every window. Open them, close them, look at the frames. Rotting window frames, broken seals, condensation between double-glazed panes, all of these signal either neglect or age. Replacing windows across an entire property is not cheap. Run every tap. Check the water pressure. Flush every toilet. Turn on the shower. Weak water pressure can indicate old pipework that needs replacing. Replacing pipework in an older property is one of the most expensive and disruptive jobs you can face as a new homeowner. Ask how old the boiler is. Anything over 10 to 12 years old and you are potentially looking at a replacement within your first few years of ownership. A new boiler costs between £2,000 and £4,000. Factor that into your offer. We will talk about exactly how to do that in episode 7. Ask why the vendor is selling. This question makes people uncomfortable, but it is one of the most important questions you can ask. Selling because they are upsizing, fine. Selling because of a divorce or financial pressure, you have negotiating power. Selling because there are neighbor disputes or issues with the area, you just dodged a bullet. And finally, visit the street at different times of day. Go back in the evening. Go back on a weekend morning. A street that looks quiet and peaceful at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday can look completely different at 7 p.m. on a Friday. You are not just buying the property. You are buying the street, the neighbors and the neighborhood. Make sure you actually want all three. Now let us talk about the biggest mistakes first-time buyers make when searching for a property. Mistake number 1. Falling in love on the first viewing. I have said this before and I will say it again. Never make a decision on a first viewing. Always go back for a second viewing with fresh eyes, ideally at a different time of day. Emotions fade between visits and what felt perfect on Tuesday often looks very different on Saturday morning. Mistake number 2. Ignoring the area because the house is perfect. The house can be renovated. The area cannot. Bad transport links, poor schools, high crime, antisocial neighbors, none of these problems get fixed by a new kitchen. Research the area as thoroughly as you research the property. Check crime statistics at police.uk. Check school ratings at ofsted.gov.uk. Drive the commute at rush hour. Walk to the nearest shops. Know exactly what you are buying into. Mistake number 3. Rushing because of fear. The market is moving fast. Someone else might offer. The agent says there is a lot of interest. These are the most overused pressure tactics in the entire industry, and I have heard every version of them across 30 years. Some of them are true. Most of them are not. Never rush a decision on the biggest purchase of your life because an estate agent made you feel like you had 24 hours to decide. Take the time you need. Do the second viewing. Ask the questions. If the property goes, another one will come. If you rush into the wrong one, you are stuck. Here is your homework before episode 7 tomorrow. Write your 2 lists today, non-negotiables and nice-to-haves. Set up instant alerts on Rightmove and Zoopla with your exact search criteria. And call at least 2 local estate agents in your target area, register your details and tell them exactly what you are looking for. Do not wait for the perfect property to appear online. Put yourself in the room before it does. Because in episode 7 we are talking about making an offer. The exact strategy I have used with hundreds of buyers to get properties for less than the asking price, how to structure your offer to make it the most attractive one on the table, and the mistakes that cause offers to get rejected even when the money is right. I am Marcus Lane. This is From Zero to Keys on Marcus Lane Real Estate. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you tomorrow in episode 7.